With just a few games remaining in the season, at this time, the best teams are peaking. But in Seville, the Hoos may be tanking, or I should say there may be some concern. Hello, everyone, alongside Little Ski, T Dubs, who's still in Utah, snowed in, and Dougie Fresh in Jersey. I am Mark Jerome. Welcome to the Locker Room Access pregame show. Dougie, are you concerned right now?
Nope. I think it's that part of the year. You disagree with me last time. I think players are beat up. They're bored. They're tired. They're waiting for the tournaments. I'm not worried because you know why I'm not worried? Because we keep winning. I don't care if we win by 1 or 20 or cover the spread. Don't cover it. As long as we win, it's a win. I'm not worried.
T Dubs, you sent a text. I'm not going to say what it was. I'm not going to shout you out. If you want to share it, I'm good with that. There is a little bit of concern that you have, and I agree with you. You lose. You barely escape in Louisville. You almost lose on a last-second shot to BC, two teams that are not very successful in the ACC this year. Right. And you have a lot of people who are saying the ACC is not that good this year.
Right.
And you're barely beating the bottom of the barrel teams in that conference.
Yeah, I mean, we're trending down. Let's just keep it real. Like the beginning of the year, in Vegas plus Michigan game where everything was fine and dandy. We look like a top 10 team, but we just haven't looked that way, to me at least. We've struggled to score. We can't get stops down the stretch. Like I look at the games, the last few, like the Duke the Duke game. Let's just go back. Great win, incredible. I went back and watched the last couple minutes. We couldn't get stops. We couldn't score when we needed to. And like the thing that happens in March that I'm worried about, and we've talked about, is like other teams start making tough shots in March. Are we going to be the same? Are we going to step up, or are we going to just be regular season, wonder? That's where my head is. Like, I'm just worried that we're going to come in. Like, to me, it feels like early round exit type scenario. Like, but we'll see.
I was thinking about the open for the show today, thinking about Louisville, BC, and even Duke, and going, guys, we missed open shots at open threes against Duke that if we hit, we win going away. Duke's good, and they're playing better. They're big, but they're not great. It was at home. You shoot 9 of 22 free throws.
Right.
There's a little concern, right? And Ryan Dunn comes in and plays really good D to save the day, then almost, has two bad plays. I don't know if 2 bad plays, but certainly one at the end of the game. And that's his first year. Okay, that's fine. And as Corey says, you're actually allowed to call the players, the student athletes, freshmen, sophomore, and junior and seniors. Corey said that on the show on ESPN the other day. So we can refer to them as freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. We're allowed to, W and T Dubs. And Little Ski. All right. You got T Dubs who says there is some concern, and you got Dougie who says there's no concern. What are you and the student population, your peoples and your boys and your homies, what are you guys saying on grounds?
I think personally, I'd say I'm right in the middle of the two. I think that we can't continue this trend, but I definitely am not at the point where I think that we're absolutely in trouble because we've seen such good work earlier in the season. And I hope we can turn back the clock a little bit. But generally, I think that it's definitely a bit of a negative perception right now, a little bit more on TW side. People are definitely a little bit concerned that, our last 2 games, we beat 2 of the worst teams in the ACC by a combined 5 points. So, obviously that's not a great look for us. We'll see how we do today.
So, Dougie, if Louisville hits the last second shot, if BC hits that last second shot.
You keep saying BC. It was Notre Dame.
No, thank you, Dougie. Thank you. ND instead of BC. I appreciate that. So if Notre Dame hits that shot, because we're playing BC tonight, that's where my confusion is. If
I get it.
Notre Dame hits that shot, would you be concerned, or you still be like, doesn't matter?
No, I wouldn't be concerned at all. We've lost 4 games this year.
All right, but hold on a second, Doug. Let's go back. Your concern is that we're beat up, we're bored. First of all, I don't see how you could be bored now. There's no way you can be bored at this point in the
I
season.
know.
Like, you're
I'm
playing college
telling
basketball.
you, this is what
You're
happens.
in the middle of the ACC. I don't have my bell. I'm in LA, and I didn't bring my bell with me, Dougie. But ding ding on you. Okay, so Notre Dame hits that shot, and even if they don't, all teams are beat up and hurt. It's not just us.
No, I
don't
agree.
see how
I agree
you
with
can be
that.
bored.
I think we had a Duke hangover. I think the Louisvilles and Notre Dames of the world are just going to play. Like we're playing for stuff. They're not. So they're not worried about things. I mean, you're always concerned. You're always worried about the way games end and you don't cover and blah blah blah. But I'm not. If we win, I put that one on the shelf and go to the next game and work on what we have to work on, as the coaches I'm sure do.
But if you see the top 10 teams how they're performing, they're blowing people away.
They are.
Houston's
That's a good
kicking
point.
people's butts, right? Alabama, they're playing on the road conference games. People playing on the road conference games, I get it. They're going to be tough against good teams. Against bad teams, the top teams are putting those teams away. And this is when you want to start peaking.
That's true.
Right? That's my point. You want to be playing your best, starting to play your best basketball now.
Right? We've never been a blow people out team, man. Like,
you mean this
really,
year?
In the ACC,
This year.
the ACC.
This year or in
blow them
general?
out by 20. I think in general. These teams, I remember London's team. He was always playing from behind, always got the win. Malcolm's teams, 19 might have been different. I don't remember. We just won every game. And the SEC is a little different. They play differently, I think. I don't know. I'm not concerned. How's that? We're gonna win tonight.
No, you say that, and I appreciate that. And I think you're gonna be the calming voice. You're gonna be the calming voice for us and a lot of the fans hearing you say you're not concerned. You've been in these shoes. You've watched a lot of college basketball. So hopefully you are right. I'm gonna disagree with you to some extent. And I don't think it's I just don't think it's like, okay, we're losing or we're close to losing games, but it's how we're playing, right? We're not shooting well, of course. Armand shot the ball well.
Yeah.
Some other but as Dave Wave said the other day, when and I've been saying for 2 years, if we're going to shoot well, we're going to be fine, right? This team is always going to be fine. We play hard. We play defensively. We're still having a few miscommunications on defense, which is giving up open shots. But we're just not. There were times when I think this team looks so good.
Yes.
And we're dribbling the ball up court with a swagger. We're moving the ball well. We're hitting shots. We're playing really good defense. And other times we're having some bad turnovers. And of course, I think the missed shots are magnified because our possessions are limited. With limited possessions and you don't shoot the ball well, you could be in trouble.
Yep. I mean,
that's kind of the thing, though. You're going to make the shot or miss the shot, right? Like, I get it. Shooters make shots, and there's no secret there. But just I'm not sure what the question is. The worry is. I get it. We should be a little bit worried, and we're trending, like, as TW perfectly said, we're trending the wrong way. I don't think it's making and missing shots, and I don't think it's the team. So
I would say my question that that will get answered to is down the stretch, who's going to step up? Well, when we need a bucket, who's going to get it? How are we going to get it? When we need to stop, who's going to do it? I mean, early in the season, that answer seemed to be Reese, right? Reese was the guy in those big games down the stretch. He got us. Yep. He got us buckets. He got us stops. Can we continue that in March? That's my question. Like, that's the one thing. Like, big lights are on, big stage, NCAA tournament, first round. Everybody's hyped. We need a bucket. 2 minutes left. How are we going to do it? Or we need a stop. How are we going to do it? Like, that's. I mean, we're not going to get an answer tonight on that. I'm not going to be convinced of anything tonight, but like we can at least show improvement.
Right. And how are teams going to play Reese? Are they going to sag a little bit, especially if he's not shooting well? Are we going to see a little bit more zone? Notre Dame switched to a zone and man back and forth. And I thought they did a pretty good job switching up defenses. We didn't score a ton of points against them. We thought it was going to be a little bit more high scoring. We thought that the Notre Dame's pick and pop and caused us some problems. They didn't shoot the ball well. If they did, we might have been in more trouble.
Yep.
I agree with you, Reese. Kihei's playing solid basketball. He's good, really good player and playing solid. Armand seems to be stepping up some. Dougie, on the freshest forums, which unfortunately I don't have a lot of time or I don't follow closely, but I have seen a couple of recent I don't know, whatever you call them, posts
back and forth
with follow-ups. Yep. Exchanges. And I saw one this morning and with some concerns about, hey, what you BVP and Jaden Gardner and playing those guys together. And I don't know about all that stuff. And the metrics and the stats, I just don't buy in the stats a lot. I don't. Who's playing well? Who's going to be a good defensive player? Who's your best shooters, right? And Dave talked about it on the last show, and maybe some other people mentioned it too, that BVP is not statistically a great shooter.
Right.
He's fine. He's good. I happen to like him a lot, and I think they're all really good players. But when you look up the stats over the course of his career, he's not much above a 30% free throw, 3-point shooter, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's where he's getting most of our shots. That's where the team gets the lion's share of its shots with the two offenses we pretty much run, right outside the pick and roll, with either sides or the 3-man game, as we're calling it, right? And so we're getting a lot of shots at the top of the key, and they're moving the ball well. And we're not turning the ball over that much, which is great, which I don't anticipate us doing because we have really strong guards.
Yep.
Defensively, T-Dubs, where do you see us? How are you evaluating us right now?
I mean, when we play small, like with them, it seems like we've got something there. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's still down the stretch. You know, we didn't get a ton of stops, but yeah, I give it to Duke. Duke made a lot of tough shots down the stretch. I'm just thinking about the end of games here. You know, Reese has made a lot of stops for us down the stretch. So I'd say defensively we're solid. I'm just, you know, maybe I'm being overly cautious coming down the stretch with history of UVA in March, but you know that's the question. Our defense is steady. When other teams step up and hit tough shots, we don't really have an answer, and that's kind of what I'm concerned. Do we have an answer on the offensive end when that happens?
Yeah.
And the question is that we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, and then what about the bench play? If someone gets into foul trouble,
right?
Spence, how do you evaluate our bench right now?
I think that we definitely have like a solid 8 guys who could play. So I mean, you have the starting 5. So assuming that we have Ben, Armand, Reese, Kihei, and Jaden, and then you have Ryan Dunn, Isaac McNeely, and Caden Shedrick, who could all play at a high level off the bench. And I mean, historically, you don't see a lot of teams go deeper than 7 or 8 guys in the postseason. So I'm happy with our depth at this point.
Yeah, TB has always had a pretty short rotation, right, between 7, 8 guys, and it seems like he's sticking to that now. At some point, I've been saying this throughout the year, and maybe I hope I'm wrong, that we're going to need some balance, right? We're going to need an inside presence within the TB's offense. Typically, the lion's share of the shots either come from guys attacking the basket, or there are a lot of threes, and that's unfortunately in the past we've had some really good shooters. And hopefully that comes the case moving forward in the remaining couple of games here. How are you looking at the final games, Dougie, in terms of where we finish? Pitt, Miami, us, maybe Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, you want to win every game, obviously. I'm starting to look more at individual players and how they stand. Right, Kihei's no secret. I don't think Jaden's a secret. BVP's BVP. You know, Reese, we want to see if Reese is like the full Reese, the full healthy, and get buckets when he needs to, like guys like Ty Jerome, Malcolm Brogdon used to do. And I really want to see the guys on the bench. I want to see if Ryan Dunn turns into an offensive presence. It's going to be hard. I want to see Isaac McNeely have one breakout game, like one game where he goes for 20 plus and just sort of takes over. I want to see Poppy. I miss seeing Poppy on the court. And, you know, Caden's got a lot to prove, man. He's had an up and down season, up, down, down, down. And, you know, those guys can change their mentality at this point in the season. So we got 4 games left, and let's go.
Spence, do you think some of the student athletes on campus, the players on campus, are feeling any pressure? Have you seen some of the guys walk around on grounds? Apologies. On grounds, have you seen some of these guys? Have you seen them walk around? Have you seen some of the guys sort of feel the pressure from? Do you sense any of that?
Yeah, I think that for the most part, like they're just kids going to class. I don't think that they feel any especially any pressure. I think that everyone seems to be in good spirits. And I mean, like Fresh said, we're winning games. So, and as long as we keep winning games, I don't think that there's anything that to get down about. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, after the Duke game, when we were at the farmers market, there were, I guess, who was there? Jaden, Armand, Reese, Kihei. They seem to be loose. They seem to be walking around fine. They seem to be like, okay, we're good, we're fine. There's no. They seem to be like carrying on as normal.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know at some point if they start feeling pressure from the student body or from just being on grounds or if any of that gets to them. But I'm just concerned, like all of a sudden we are playing well and all of a sudden, well, we're not. Right. And what the reason is.
Yep.
And I know, Dougie, everybody's hurt. Everybody's beat up at this point. Right. And Reese has been our guy, and T-Dubs, I agree with that. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. And Armand's playing great. Defensively, I think we're still very strong. I don't think we're missing a beat too much. I'd still like to see us not have so many miscommunications or a few miscommunications per game. Offensively, we've got to certainly, if we shoot the ball, we all know we're going to be a good team. Right.
Yep.
And tonight at BC, there's always people talking about what an awful trip this is. I know Dougie and Danny Alter were planning to go.
Oh, man.
Thought they were trying to go, and then got some complications. Would have been great to have you up there, Dougie. That's not a pretty place to watch a game.
For sure.
Right. But again,
Doesn't look it.
This is the top teams. It's dark, dreary, cold, although I don't know how bad the weather is now. The top teams are going to always perform, and they're looking forward to games. Right. So, against ND, we were the more athletic team. Against Notre Dame, we were the more athletic team. And I think that we made some critical plays. We got a couple of good offensive rebounds. I think late in the game, Jaden Gardner got a good offensive rebound and was able to put one in, which was a big help. BC's got a big boy that's a really good player.
He's really good. Post?
I think he had 9 of the first 11 when they were at UVA.
Mm-hmm.
It took us a little while to get going, and we finally got it going, and we put him away. Right. Dougie, what are you saying? Your Coach Bennett, your Coach Williford, your Coach Dougie.
Yeah.
Pregame. What are you saying to the boys so we get back to winning this game by 12 to 15 points?
Well, I'm saying out from the onset, like, you better bring some energy. I was at the BC game in Charlottesville. It was it might have been a noon game, doesn't matter. And BC brought energy into the building. And the kid, I think it's Post, right? The big guy was making shots and going off, and like he's like raising his arms. And our guy, I'm like, you better be ready early because BC is going to have a lot of fun tonight playing basketball at home. And you better match energy, the whole thing. And you were talking about guys before, like, if you're a player, Armand, let's say he's 9 for 12. He knows he played good. If he's 2 for 12, he knows he didn't play good. But you can always bring energy, right? And I don't always see that from our team. Sometimes, what's the word? Not confused, but on the back foot. So we better come out, match the energy early, build, and just put them away and cruise the second half.
So Doug is a former player, who play at the highest level. What is that? Where you get guys that are playing hard, and then you're watching them, and you're like, I'm not so sure they're playing so hard this game. I'm not so sure they're bringing the energy.
I'm telling you, guys, I could never do it, Marky. I wasn't good enough. But you had the big time guys. They could turn it on and turn it off, turn it off and turn it on. I had to go 100%. So I'm not sure how that works for guys who are exceptional because I had to always play hard. But some guys can turn it off, and then you turn it off and you get behind, and you got to really turn it on, and go 90, 95%, not 70. So, and it happens. I'm trying to give some like insight here. It absolutely happens in college basketball.
I agree with that you have some guys who have that ability to turn it on, turn it off.
Yeah.
Right. But those are sometimes, I think often those are pros. like high-level pro
100%.
players.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Right, but I'm not so sure. Maybe we do have high-level pros, NBA players on this team.
Oh no, our guys got to go all out. There's no. I don't think they don't. I think we have mental lapses more than anything. Everything's going well. We're playing great, and then mental lapse, stupid turnover that would never happen. Bad pass, missed block out, these type of things. You got to just stay. You got to be in the game the whole time, man. Things don't just happen.
Spence, how do you see the end of the season going down?
Honestly, at this point, it's really could go either way. I think that there's if we could turn it around and guys get going, we get 4 or 5 guys going every game. I could see us going deep in the tournament. But if we keep playing like we did the last 2 games, I could see us losing our first ACC tournament game and bowing out in the first weekend.
Let me rewind. Let me be more specific. Sorry. How do you see the end of the regular season going down? Do we get first, second, third?
Oh, I mean, we've gotten some favorable results from the other games around the league, so we're solely atop the ACC leaderboards right now. I mean, with our remaining games, we have this game tonight at UNC, which will be a test for sure, and then Clemson and Louisville both at home. I think that if we could pull out a win against UNC, I don't think that we have anything in our way to taking the ACC tournament. And even if we don't win that game, I don't think it's absolutely set in stone that we won't win it all.
Right, and we're going to get favorable schedule at least the first couple of games in the ACC tournament, even if we go 3-1. Right?
I think at this point, are we guaranteed a double bye yet, or is it not yet?
Spence, that's a question for yourself.
Yeah, that's
rhetorical. I think if we win one more, whatever. I don't. Yeah.
Clemson is 2 games back from us, so I think if we win 1 or 2 of our last 4, then we should be guaranteed a double bye,
including
and
Clemson.
I don't see.
Yeah,
this
if we beat Clemson,
we definitely to be the number 1 seed.
You don't see it so important?
No, not for the tournament. I want to.
I think we need to play.
I really want to win I want to win the
league.
whole thing.
Yeah,
but I don't think the seeding is so important this year in the tournament.
Right.
It
depends. It always depends who you're going to match up against.
Yeah, for sure.
Some teams are going to match up better, and some teams depends who's
on
your side bracket.
My point is, being the number 1 seed might give you a worse matchup the way this thing is playing out.
Yeah, absolutely. If the season ended today, us as the number 1 seed would be playing the winner of Syracuse versus UNC for our first game. And I mean, I don't think that I want to play UNC or Syracuse again after those last 2 games that we played against them. So I don't know.
Okay, so Spence, you don't love the matchup against Syracuse and UNC. Is there anybody else you don't like?
At this point, I don't like anyone from UNC up.
I mean, at some point in your 3rd game, you're going to be playing somebody really good, or 2nd game. If you get the double bye, you're going to be playing against somebody good.
I don't think you want Duke on a neutral court this year.
Okay.
I think
UNC and Duke or NC State even. I mean, neutral court is definitely not what I'd call Greensboro, North Carolina for those teams.
Now, anything can happen in any given game, as we all know.
Yep.
We've been around this game so long. The one team that I'm not fearful of, because I just don't think they can keep up, is NC State. I think Burns hurts them.
I agree with that.
Again, anything can happen, and that's just my take. Maybe he just had a bad game when he plays, although I've watched him several times, and he's done really well. He tore up, or they were so excited to beat UNC the other day, as if that was their championship. And if you saw them celebrating, that was a big game for them.
Dude, don't forget Wake Forest, man.
Yeah, but I gotta tell you, I still think we're really good. I know I'm expressing concern. I think we're really good, and people have to play us. And I think we dictate, and we're going to control what's going to happen. I still believe that, even though I'm expressing some concern. We are the team to beat in this conference. I really do believe that. So we are minutes away from tip-off.
But teams know it, and they want to do it, so who knows? Yep. What station's the game on tonight?
ACC and X.
Oh, boy. All right.
All right. So really quick, let's get predictions, and then let's let people get to the game. Little Ski, what do you got?
I don't even know what the line is. I think we'll win by 15 or 20.
Wow.
I
Little
think we're gonna bounce back hard
Nice.
and blow them out in their home court.
And who's
Dougie?
your player of the game? Who's your player of the game tonight, Spensky?
I'm gonna say Armand's gonna have a good game.
Okay.
Dougie?
67-20. Us? It's not going to be easy tonight. I mean, that's easy. 7 points. Come on. Up and down. 67-20. I think we'll be up by 15 at some point. We'll do the whole thing, and they come back. And who am I feeling player of the game? I think Jaden tonight.
I like
I
us
think
by
he has a big
8.
game.
I like us by 8. I like us 63
There you
to
go.
55 game.
Ooh.
I think it's Reese and Kihei dominating and controlling everything that happens. And I do like Jaden too. I do like Jaden.
I like Jaden
right.
tonight. I'm not sure why I feel it.
Yep. All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you at the half. Enjoy.
Go Hoos.